I recently received a "Help Dad" type WhatsApp message from my daughter who's renting a flat with her friend, and she enclosed these two photographs and said, "Dad, what do I need to do? My flat's broken. What can I do?" And I don't know what you think about this, but my first reaction is that this is probably condensation. Now, this is a ground floor flat, so yes, it could possibly be rising damp, but my inclination is to suspect in the first instance this is actually condensation. And it's interesting to be on the other side of this, because as a landlord, one thing which infuriates me, and I know that this drives my managing agent up the wall, is when he'll get a phone call from a tenant, or even worse, a phone call from environmental health on behalf of the tenant, because the tenant rang environmental health without ringing him first, saying the flat is damp, it's substandard, people shouldn't be living in it. And when he goes around to have a look, the solution and the answer to this, the explanation, is that it's condensation. And what's the condensation caused by? Usually, and I'm talking about sort of 99.9% of the time, it's caused by tenants not opening windows but using lots of water and creating lots of water vapour inside. So cooking, showering, just being alive and breathing out water vapour. And of course the thing which really drives him mad is when he gets called over because of the damp problem to find that all of the radiators have got clothes on because they're drying their clothes on the radiators, and all that moisture has got to go somewhere. And it doesn't occur to them that if the moisture's inside the property, it's going to condense on the walls and it's going to cause damp. So what's the solution? Well, the solution is to open windows and to ventilate the property, particularly the bathroom and the kitchen. And of course, nowadays we're installing electric fans in the bathrooms to take the vapours out. But it's a real problem, because it seems to be that not many people realise that the effect of leaving all that vapour within a property can be to cause quite severe condensation. So the advice I've given my daughter in the first instance is start ventilating the property. When you're cooking, open the kitchen window. When you're having a shower, open the bathroom window, let it ventilate, let the vapour out, and we'll see what happens. If you want to know more about common defects in property, I've created a resource called 63 Common Defects in Investment Property and How to Spot Them, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. It'll take you through the defects you're most likely to find in investment property. It'll show you how to identify them. In particular, I'm going to show you how I inspect properties, the process and the methodology which I go through when I'm inspecting, and I'll even give you my template pro forma, which you can use to fill in on site to make sure that you don't miss anything, or at least to give yourself the best chance of spotting as much as you can. Now, of course, this resource isn't going to make you into a chartered surveyor, but it will give you an edge when you're out inspecting properties. And I use the term very deliberately. I don't believe in viewing properties. Viewing is what owner-occupiers do when they're going around to make sure that the curtains fit. Inspecting a property is looking at a property to make sure that it's the right property for your investment criteria, and part of that is understanding what defects there may be, in other words, wants of repair, so you can think about how much you need to budget for repairs and even how much you need to budget for improvements. So if you think that sounds useful, then please go over to my website www.thepropertyteacher.co.uk and click on Learning with Peter, and you'll see a link to 63 Common Defects in Investment Property and How to Spot Them. And I will try and remember to leave a link below this video as well.